Well, all right. So I've realized that anytime someone on the cultural right does anything of constructive or constructive value, the left is going to destroy it. And if you are effective, then you're going to become an enemy to the establishment. If you are effective against the establishment, they will try to shut you down. They'll ignore you until you become effective. And then when you start to become effective, that's when they begin to play their games with you. And I think this has always been true of anybody, or most of the time throughout history. When you become an effective person that speaks up. And if they feel that what you're saying is detrimental to their thought process and their hive mind, right now there's a leftist hive mind that that thinks one way, and they think that their way is the Shangri-La and the best way. Once you become effective against them, that's when they want to shut you down, stigmatize you, and not give you any kind of due process to defend yourself. And we're seeing this play out in many types of ways. So, but the truth is, these people cannot hide forever. The internet is too large, and people kind of know what's going on. And there's only there's only so many brainwashed people with the hive mind that can stop you, and there's only so many people they can cut out of the workforce and fire and punish and make an example of. Sooner or later, they're going to run out of people they can do this to. They can't do it to all 74 million, and they can't do it to the millions of people across the world who know about reality. And the sooner we get to a form of reality, and or some people get to a form of reality and open and honest debate, the better. But that's not where we're at today. We're not living in a free and open society, and a society that is willing to debate issues. Of course, not the important issues of this country, and not only of this country, but of the civilized world. Joe, do you have anything to add that I have brought to this table?
Um, I do, and it's not to, oppose what you're saying. It's really a matter of, I think when you say you live in reality, um, do you? Do you truly live in reality? Um, and I'd like to see maybe some examples of what you mean by that, because to me that's a real it's a real important thing to say. But it's even more important thing to live, and I feel like maybe reality has been distorted so much by such a tremendous amount of programming, fear, control tactics, fiscally, emotionally, and so on. And when people say they live in reality, I often listen to more of the dialogue. And most of the time, I question whether or not the person knows for sure if they are in reality or if they're just promoting another agenda or narrative. I don't think that's, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general, that's just how when I hear those words, I go into that frame of mind. And so I often, it takes a lot of dedication and commitment to breaking free of the politicization and the normalizing of things that may or may not be in reality. So it's difficult. It's a difficult thing. I guess some may argue it's subjective, but I feel there's an objective reality. There's one reality, and I think it's most of the time it's distorted at this point, just because of where we've come and how far we've walked these distorted lines. So there was something else you mentioned that was pretty interesting. Well, I mean, I also the whole, I can't help thinking this way, but I think people caught in the left and right paradigm are hopelessly lost. It's a path I can't walk, and I don't try to get too involved with the politics, and for me it's helped. And when I walked away from all forms of news, because I just feel I couldn't find anything reliable, so I started to try to provide myself my own form of news. If something really big happens, almost every time I hear about it, it's not one thing I've missed that has any kind of social impact that's scooted, beyond where I'm at. I always seem to catch wind of it somewhere, and so yeah, I'm surprised so many people are still stuck in the left-right paradigm that has left them broken, either like I said, either emotionally, financially, or physically. It's quite a thing. But that's all. That's what I had to say. And I don't think either of us are better or worse than the next. I think you and I have a good ability to kind of take a bit of a beating and keep on going. So, what a low level thinker. So that's an ad hominem attack. And from this point forward, I'm just going to demonstrate to people like Angela the flaws in their logic, and with her, it's just too easy.
I always I look as a human being for my safety and my well-being. I strive for my safety and my well-being. If I had children, I would strive for their safety and well-being. And I look at, regardless of whether one likes it or not, politics is part of life, and business is part of life as well. And both are intertwined. We're supposed to have a First Amendment. This is supposed to be the information superhighway. But today it's not, because censorship is the way of the internet today. All social media censors what comes out there, and you see the groups they censor the most. And they, under the guise of both heresy and misinformation. And who decides what is misinformation and what is not misinformation? Who decides what is hate speech? What is deemed as hate speech? Who decides who is a protected class and who is not? And I'm observing the situation at hand. I'm observing what is going on. And I certainly see the fanatics, and I can see them on both sides, but I can see one fanatical group gets punished and one group gets stigmatized as fanatical, while the other group, they overlook it. And certain behaviors are overlooked by one group, and certain behaviors are magnified. So,
but also, isn't the ability to judge on an individual basis distorted as well? What happened to that? So everyone's part of a group, I guess.
Well, I mean, you see the group, and the group uses both. It uses brainwashing, and to those who will not be brainwashed, you will see intimidation, primarily economic, but also physical. But if you don't agree with them, they will try to get you fired, and even get you not to be anywhere near society. And basically, cancel culture. Basically, what cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for mass murder. Because if you can fire people without any due process, and you can control what is said and what isn't, well, if you're killed and the media doesn't say anything, and then you have this internet and you can't say anything, when they kill people, they'll just deny your death. Just as I said before, they said over 50,000 people died in the Korean War. Now, the truth is, I think about 36,000, maybe 38,000. This is American troops. So they say over 50,000 American troops died in the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. Now it's, I think, about 36,000. So if they can be wrong about that decimal point, by that decimal point, just think what else they can be wrong about, and the other things that they can do to you, or that groups can do to you, and the media will say nothing about it. Or if you bring it up, they'll claim hate speech. And it does bother me, because it doesn't give me any kind of due process. And it's very dangerous, and we are living under dangerous times when that is happening. Should I invite Angela, or would you like to? And you say I have distorted opinions, and maybe to you I do, but I can also let me invite.
No, I wasn't talking to you at all. No, not at all. I think that some of the opinions in the chat room might be distorted. She claimed that you are normal, and she was asked. Angela's asked, "What is normal?" Go ahead and answer it.
Well, I have invited. And who is Super Darth?
I don't know. I may know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But there's an invitation for both of you gentlemen to come out to our show if you wish to chat with us.
Yes.
I certainly see things, and I'm going to put myself on mute, but I'll leave it on this. I certainly see things a certain way, and these people do not answer my questions. One of the things they'll like, if you start asking questions, one of the things they say to you, it's not our job. It's your job to learn, not our job to teach. And that is a very egocentric, narcissistic thing to say. And it's also a deflection because they know they don't have answers to your questions. Anyway, I'm going to bring on Angela. Angela, how are you? Do you have any comment to make on what has gone on so far?
Well, I think the left has gone too far. You're absolutely correct. We need to come up with some solutions to try to make things more palpable. That's what I think at this moment.
Joe, I can hear you typing, so it can be you put yourself on mute. Did you take her off?
No.
Hmm.
But I did, if Kings is out there, come on in. Kings is the super dark shadow.
Okay, he can.
Angela, come on back. I guess she said that's all she had to say.
All right. Well, again,
if you can see the left is wrong, you certainly should be able to see that the right is also wrong.
I see them.
Not talking to you. I'm posing that to the crowd.
I'm saying, well, again, I focus on the left because they have establishment power, and they are emboldening unhinged lunatics. If you look at this trial going on right now with Kyle Rittenhouse, you'll see some of the most vicious things going on, and they are being emboldened by that. And I think they're on a Pol Pot level, and it's very dangerous. Angela, do you have anything else more to add?
Well, tomorrow in the state of Oklahoma, Julius Jones, it appears that he will be executed, even though he was given clemency by a parole board. I think if we look at Rittenhouse and Julius Jones, tomorrow's going to be inflammatory at best. I'm concerned about the state of our country. Where do we go from here?
Hello there, super dark shadow. Do you have any answer for Angela? Where do we go from here?
It's not only just like JB said, it is not only the right, but no one, both of them are wrong. I think we need a new, fresh start. A new
Beautiful.
start.
A fresh start would be good. We are in a time now when it shouldn't be taboo to admit both sides have taking side. Why do we need to take sides? Where is the third side? What is the third side? What's the fourth? There should be more options, but we've been put at each other like as if we've all stepped into a ring, ready to start the bout, and with all the programming that goes along with it, it's completely normal. It's completely normalized. It's why it's so deeply embedded in many minds that that it's almost as if, and I was explaining this earlier with you, Kings, when we were talking privately, and I hate to repeat it to you, but these two haven't heard it yet. But I just have this way of thinking now.
I can't wait.
I'm sorry? What's that?
Irony wrapped up in the statement of I can't wait. Go ahead. Great mind of the future.
So we're living in the present, Angela. We only have now. Sorry to burst your bubble. But people, Brian, are you the best boxer in the world?
No.
No. I am far from being the smartest person in the world. There's no equality.
Amen.
I'm sorry. Did you have something to say, Angela? Okay.
I was just saying amen. I'm a woman of faith, unlike others. I was saying amen.
Okay. Okay. I have a lot to say about that too, but since we're on a path here, and faith is one of the biggest problems that we face in this world. Anyways, people don't have faith in themselves. They'd rather put their faith in something like a copyrighted book, for example. But anyways, my point was just this: there's no equality in nature, and so the people who are far smarter than me have an opinion, and they may have a high level career or a high level responsibility, or so they've taken up a narrative. They've built their life around that narrative. They have the certificates, the diplomas, certificates to back it up, and they are held to a particular standard. But they are, unfortunately, the ego cannot allow for this extra side, this extra point of view. What they have is deeply embedded, and it's set in so deeply that if somebody like me comes around and says, well, why do you need to be a left? Why do you need to be right? I mean, why can't you see that there's evils on both sides? And in fact, we're led by these sides, but in fact, those sides are not sides at all. They're actually a lot closer than I bet most people would imagine. So I just, that's my point, is that the ego affects the ability to be able to accept that their side might be just as much of the problem wherever people stand on certain issues. Anyways, that's all I had to say on that.
Well, let's use your MSW, and talk about mob mentality, like some very sickening Discord chat room where it's a den of iniquity, a den of cruel actions versus a regular mob that gets upset over a verdict or not a verdict, or perhaps someone is being put to death unjustly. Can you describe mob mentality and how we can deal with it as a society, from an evil Discord, nasty Discord room to a mob or a riot over a verdict or not a verdict or an execution? JP.
Not sure what you're referring to. Discord is just a website, and you just said it was filled with inequity. But like I said,
cruelty. They act like a mob. They try to destroy people. And Discord is full of rooms like that.
Where is it different in nature?
Well, I'm not the one supporting that type of behavior, JP, but, can we discuss mob mentality? Because it comes from the internet and it comes from in person.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Who's supportive of what?
Mob mentality. How do we deal with it as a people, as a nation, as an individual, when we talk about internet mob mentality or in-person mob mentality, where they may destroy businesses, versus a Discord room that tries to destroy lives, and they are the pit of utter hell and should go to hell.
Is hell a place?
It is a state of being which certain individuals find themselves in. Mm-hmm. Or should find themselves in. I don't know how they can live with themselves. I don't know how rioters can live with themselves when they destroy somebody's livelihood, or they try to destroy someone to the point of suicide because of evil, vile videos that people make and they promote in their Discord. It's awful. And they should be ashamed of themselves.
Still have no idea what you're talking to. You're being oblique at best. So go ahead.
I just mentioned people's livelihood being destroyed, and then people's personal lives being destroyed by videos, copyrighted material that they have no claim to, should not have. I just, there's such evil in this world.
You know,
You know,
in court they would go after the author. They would not go after what you're claiming to be supporters of. Supporting is not actionable.
I'm not supporting it.
So I'm just telling you right now, straight away, you have no basis to report anything. So
I have no basis to report.
absolutely not. If you haven't spoken to the author,
Wow.
have you spoken to the author about this problem of yours?
A problem of mine. I'm talking as a society, there is an issue. As an individual, there's an issue. When somebody destroys a person's livelihood, be it their business or their personal life, it's disgusting.
Are you
People
talking about
should be
yourself?
ashamed of themselves. But
Are you-
how do we deal with it? Is a weaponized trait of the far left and disgusting individuals.
The left is sick. You're absolutely right. The left is sick, but to claim the right isn't any more or less sick, I think you're a little myopic. And
I will not discuss the right. So you are incorrect in what you said.
based on what?
I'm saying I did not discuss the right. So you can't involve my opinion of the right when I did not express it. Concluded.
Not sure what she's talking about, but she should be taking her issue up with the author.
You could take your should haves and just shove it up your derriere because I didn't mention anything about the right. I mentioned that the far left has gone too far, that mob mentality is not good. Be it someone destroying a person's livelihood in a riot or someone in a immature, disgusting Discord room using personal videos of someone else to destroy someone's life up to suicide. Shame on them.
This is an emotional fallacy. You should know that.
A emotional policy? Is that what you said?
He said it is an emotional fallacy.
Fallacy.
First of all, there's a whole situation on Discord where
many Discords are awful, and they do the same thing as one that I'm referring to. Not specifically, but a lot of them try to destroy another person's life through videos that they make up. I mean, it's disheartening. It's sickening. I don't see how they can live with themselves or talk about it all night long. This culture that's out there, and it's not just Discord, it used to be Skype that was this way. I feel sorry for those people. You're wasting your time on hate and depravity and living in the pain of yesterday. Why would you inflict that on people? Kings, you live in a Discord like that. How do you live with that type of behavior in your Discord? I'm just curious.
My Discord? What are you talking about? I don't have no Discord room.
Uh-huh. Okay, then I'll honor your reply.
And basically, my Discord is full of positive people.
I think.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm thinking that Angela's saying you're part of maybe a server that appeals to something she's talking. I don't even know.
Yes, mob mentality.
But she's insane, a little bit insane.
Maybe that's not cool.
She might have a touch of her.
I'm not the one that. Oh, I'm going to keep quiet.
We're going into areas that I don't. Yeah, that's geez.
Mob mentality. How do we deal with it, Brian? I mean, all I can think of is start locally and stop these violent actions, be it on the internet or in person in a riot. There's something that needs to be done to stop these people.
Well, in my opinion, they are protected by the establishment, and it is an economic kind of Cold War, and
Yes,
and the left has become effective in stopping dissent immediately. They control. Uh, they control they control much of social media, and then
that's true.
they also, not only that, but they control basically, if you get out into the street and you pass out pamphlets to things they
Hmm.
disagree with, they will get violent with you. And, they allow for certain groups, like you see the Hebrew Israelites and the Nation of Islam, they can go on any street corner in America. But any group that goes against the woke left, that they consider to be bad, they will absolutely use violent intimidation to stop them, and also economic, more economic than physical, because they go to employers and they claim white supremacy, and the many times
Correct.
the employers will not even give any kind of due process before firing that person. They will just
Hmm.
dismiss the person without any kind of questioning and anything like that. And this is where we're at as of now. And I think, again, there are over 70 million in America that are against this kind of thing. And I think not only in America but throughout the civilized world, there are people who, you speak in one voice, and if you speak in one voice economically, you can't have power. But as of now, the establishment is still one way, and this establishment will lie and cheat because I think they see themselves at war, and they're at war with what they believe to be fascism and white supremacy, and they believe their opposition is evil, so they don't have to be honorable in any way. They can be as underhanded as possible. And when you demonize a person like that, anything you do to them is okay. For example, the Jake Gardner, they first drove him to poverty, and then drove him to suicide. And these people don't bat an eye when they do what they do. And I could assure you, if I, in my the city where I live, if I try to um, basically have a remembrance for that man and say that he was driven to suicide by the left, there would be groups out there violently trying to stop me. There definitely would be groups that would try to economically stop me, like they'd say, if you do this, we're gonna talk to an employer and get you fired. Uh, and then they would also try to do physical intimidation. A lot of people are
You're right.
there are a lot of people right now that are afraid to speak up because they will be economically damaged, and socially and economically damaged by these people, and that's just where we're at today. They will try to deplatform you and get you fired from a job, and again, they will do so without any form of due process. Teachers who basically misbehave have a long due process before they are fired. But there are many employers out there that don't have that kind of due process, and perhaps they should. If they have to look at the source to who is doing what, and they have taken certain businesses and companies, they've debanked them. I think there has to be an investigation. Hopefully, the government will investigate some of these groups out there that have committed economic what I consider to be economic terrorism, because they were the ones who fomented the riots. And I would love to see a congressional hearing on the riots and on cancel culture and who controls the establishment. Because again, I think this establishment is responsible for the riots and also for affecting policy. And I certainly would like to see a deep dive and a very deep investigation into what's going on, not only in America, but maybe even in the UN courts about what's been going on, throughout the world. I think the Rotherham grooming gangs should be investigated, and how the left exacerbated that problem of Muslim rape gangs. And the murders of whites in South Africa, white farmers in South Africa, should be investigated, and how the left has stifled any discussion on this issue.
And then there's the UK as well, with all the problems they're having. This is systemic of what we're experiencing in the States.
Yeah, well, the woke culture seems to have traveled all throughout the civilized world. It has made it's basically putting its flag all over. It has become particularly strong within the Anglosphere, and I think that there needs to be, like I said, kind of a UN, an international look, not only a national look, but an international look at these groups. Are they really noble? Are these groups really good? Are they not fanatical in their beliefs? Because I see them as very fanatical. And I think that they are a threat not only to America, but to the civilized world as a whole. And I think the civilized world needs to look at them and kind of put them on trial for the things that they've done and the destructive behavior that they've caused. And with that being said, I think I'll end this show. Joe, do you have anything to add before I end this show?
No, definitely go to the website, transparencyandmerit.com.
Yeah.
I'm good, though.
And if you disagree with anything that I've said or anything that Joe has said, please leave a comment. If you want, because, and actually, by the way, the thumbs down sign, I heard that is not going to be posted anymore. YouTube is doing.
Oh, good.
They're still doing it for now. Kings, do you have anything to say? Anything to add before we get out of here? Oh, there you go.
Stay healthy.
Yes.
Love one another, and be safe.
Help one another.
No, love one another. Love.
Oh, love coming. I think some people go too far and they harm others. And they never take accountability.
All right, guys.
I wasn't even okay. Fine, I'll just leave. There's a man going to be executed tomorrow, and I'll just leave.
Wait a minute. I know. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys.
Hasty exit.
By the way, there is a man being executed. There are a lot of people who believe he's innocent, and there are a lot of people that believe he's absolutely and totally guilty of the crime that he committed. So that's a big thing. I might do something on that. He is being executed, and I might go into that later, because anyway, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and sorry things got the way they did. So subscribe, leave a comment down below, and visit our website at transparencyandmerit.com.